as we go deeper and deeper into the season of Lent. In fact, in 2 weeks' time, we enter into the Holy Week, less than 2 weeks. One thing that comes out of this next coming weeks is a virtue of Jesus. And what virtue is that? It's the virtue of obedience. Specifically, obedience to the will of his Father. In fact, the letter of Paul to the Philippians would even say, he accepted death, obediently accepting even death on the cross. And the obedience of Jesus will culminate on the cross. That for Jesus, he would even say in his prayer, no? Father, kung pwede, alisin mo yung kopa ng pagdurusa. But he will say, but not my will, but yours be done. So in these coming days, in these coming few weeks, we will be encountering how Jesus manifests his obedience to the will of his Father. But most probably is the more important question for our reflection is, what motivated this obedience of Jesus? Meron. Hindi naman pwedeng sunod ka lang ng sunod. There must be a motivation. And the gospel gives us a glimpse of this. And that is, the obedience of Jesus to the will of his Father is motivated by his love for his Father. So para kay Jesus, ang kanyang obedience is rooted in his love for the Father. He obeyed the Father because he loved the Father. And it's a good reminder for all of us, no? Because most probably you have heard me say, one of the struggles of the human person is obedience. It's very difficult to obey. Parang sa isang tao, isa siguro ito sa pinakamahirap na i-perfect ng tao. We all struggle when it comes to obedience. And Jesus is our model. Kasi pwede tayong mag-obey, pwede tayong sumunod, but the question is, why do you obey? Because in every aspect of our life, obedience is required. For example, kayong mga may trabaho, there are many rules, there are many things you have to accomplish, required and everything. The question is, why do you have to follow them? You follow them because it's an obligation on your part. It's you obey them because you have no other choice but to obey. Otherwise, you will be punished. So we can be obedient in a negative way. In fact, even simple traffic rules, you obey, you wear helmet. Bakit? Para hindi ka mahuli. Para hindi ka mamulta ng 1.5. You wear your, ano ba yan? Kahit kami nagbibisikleta, we are required to wear the, ano ba yun? Reflectorized vest. No? Bakit? Siyempre, mahuhuli ka. Hulihin ka ni mamang pulis, mumultahin ka. But you see, in a negative way, that can happen to so many of us. We obey simply because we have no other choice. Otherwise, we will get caught and then we will be punished. But if that is our motivation for obedience, then there is something wrong. It's like we are missing the point. Because Jesus obeyed his Father out of his love for his Father. Very simply. So, ibig sabihin nito, yung kulang ng pagmamahal, hindi talaga nag-o-obey. Yung hindi nag-o-obey, ay kulang yan sa pagmamahal. So like for example, for us children, we obey our parents not because we are afraid of them. We obey them because we love them. Wala nang ibang dapat na rason. ino-obey mo yung tatay mo at nanay mo sa gustong ipagawa sa'yo, primarily because you love them. No other reason, no other motivation. At work, in school, in the church, we obey because we love the family, we love the church, and ultimately we obey God because we love God. And that is the example of Jesus. Alam nyo, most probably in the Gospels, kahit yung mga alagad ni Jesus, they struggled with this. This is a struggle of the human nature. Siguro, unang struggle natin, it's very difficult to obey. And the second struggle of the human nature is we obey with a negative motivation. Kaya maganda na as we get deeper into the Holy Week and we enter into the Lent and we enter into the Holy Week, so siguro yung grace na hingin natin din sa Diyos. That we obey out of our love. The motivation of our obedience is love. According to the example of Jesus. Dahil ang sabi ko, sa lahat ng aspeto ng buhay natin, be it in the family, be it in school, at work, business, in the church, in the parish, lahat po yan. Obedience is always there. The question is, why do you obey? Why do you obey? Sana we get over that hump na parang we simply obey out of obligation or because of fear of being punished or whatever. Sana maging katulad tayo ni Jesus. Difficult it may be, but we pray for that grace. We obey because we love. A person who cannot obey lacks love in himself or herself. So we pray for that grace, that just like Jesus, we practice obedience every day because we love. We all stand.